Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. You know, people are shocked when I say I've never seen Star Wars, have zero desire to see it. But more and more people are coming around to my point of view because Star Wars' latest series has gone fully woke. It's had the full Disney treatment. Here is the creator and star talking about the Acolyte.
Arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And, you know, this is going to be a talking point.
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure some...
Because nerds are gay.
Well, some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true. But in my world, nerds are gay.
Okay. Was this the fun element of...
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars. And are you telling me, with a straight face, that C-3PO is straight?
More outward.
I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian.
That was Leslie Headland, who is the former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein. Now she's a big deal in Disney. And one of the stars, Amandla Stenberg. And here is Amandla talking about another production she starred in, The Hate U Give, and what she hoped to achieve with it.
When people watch The Hate U Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was the goal. It was the goal.
White people crying was the actual goal. Well, the film was called The Hate U Give. But back to Star Wars, which I know nothing about. So let's get a review of the latest series from a trusted source. Here is Joel Berry, the managing editor of the brilliant Babylon Bee. He said, The Acolyte is a queer Marxist vandalisation of the myth of Star Wars. In The Acolyte, the Force is a metaphor for cultural hegemonic power. The Jedi are a metaphor for cisgender white oppressors who hoard the power for themselves. Yes, it really is that obnoxious and stupid. Looks like the only white folk who'll be crying are those dumb enough to be funding this tomfoolery. It all reminds me of that great South Park episode where they mocked the far-left excesses of Disney.
Why are they replacing every single character with someone who is diverse? But then Kenny's like, it's not our fault, it's because of Kathleen Kennedy. But then Kathleen Kennedy's just like, it, make it more lame. And everyone in town is like, no, please, Kathleen Kennedy, stop ruining everything. But Kathleen Kennedy is all like, put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more lame. And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down.
Yes, Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilms, owned by Disney, got the South Park treatment. Good and proper. And when you see The Acolyte, you'll understand why.
There you are, Miss Kennedy, the linguine and clam sauce.
Excuse me, I believe I asked you to put a chick in this and make her gay.
Yes, the chef was a little confused what you meant by that.
It means put a chick in the linguine and make her gay. And I want it lame.
Let's cover more Lefties Losing It with my next guest. Now, the Biden administration has cancelled billions more in student debt. The total stands at $167 billion, that's US, with 1 in 10 student loan borrowers forgiven of their debts. But at least long-suffering taxpayers are getting value for their money. Let's look at what the kids are studying nowadays.
My concentration is environmental science and sustainable business.
Hi, my name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of self.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. My concentration is creative direction, production, and narrative through the arts, performance, and written word.
Hi, my name is Karina Gomez, and my concentration is in journalism and Latin American studies, with an emphasis in human rights, collective memory, and political violence.
Hi, my name is Reed, and I study music business and gender studies.
Hi, my name is Dominique, and I studied care politics with a minor in disability studies.
My name is Elliot Wright, and my concentration is art as a social mechanism.
Hi, I'm Georgia, and my concentration is dramatic writing and theatrical adaptation.
My name is Noah Loyacano, and my concentration is equilibrium or negotiated paradox.
Now, I'm not sure if those kids are going to join the unemployment queue or be tomorrow's tyrants in HR departments and big corporations. Who can tell?
Latin American women in visual culture.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm studying the unseen body in creative spaces, erasure and exposure of the queer. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Nina, and I studied the arts, education, and social justice.
I'm Joyce. I studied decolonial intimacies, indigenous politics of resistance.
I'm Victoria, and I studied remembering or forgetting, navigating international conflict through collective memory.
Hi, I'm Yvonne, and I studied monstrosity, the subaltern praxis. Or should I say I created it?
Hi, I'm Nunyala. I'm studying living artfully, art as ritual therapy, and pathways of decoloniality.
I'm Naomi, and I'm studying Black political economy.
I'm Natalie, and I'm studying fashion history and gender studies. And I studied phenomenological approaches to Black womanhood, specifically
Let's bring in journalist and documentary filmmaker Ami Horowitz. Ami, we do love your content on this program, but you've seen what I've just looked at there. I'm not even sure it's real. It's so absurd. Are the American people getting value for money for the hundreds of billions that are destined to go to student debt forgiveness?
Yeah, you just broke my brain with that segment. Oh, geez, why did you start? Now, I can't concentrate on my bullet points, what I was thinking about to discuss on this. Look, yeah, he did. Okay, this is the party of democracy, right? Subverting the will of the Supreme Court, trying to find an illegal way to essentially buy off a demographic, right? They sent $167 billion to pay off. But here's why he's so bad at this, Rita. To pay off a demographic that doesn't vote. The 18 and 29 vote is the least likely age group to vote, yet he's the one who's going to continue the spiraling inflation by spending this amount of money to buy off a group that simply, they may like Biden, but they're not going to go to the polls because they're too lazy. No, what this does really, though, in terms of the message it sends, the message it sends is, look, if you saved to send your kids to school, you're a sucker. If you work 2 jobs as a student to pay for your school, you're a sucker. If you said, hey, I'm not going to go to a fancy NYU school like those idiots whose parents, I'm sure, are very proud when they spent over $250,000 to study whatever insanity they were studying. If you went to a school that, I don't know, a community college, a state school, you're a sucker. These are the messages that are being sent by the Biden administration when they say, we're just going to pay off your debt. That's what it says.
Now, I spoke to Douglas Murray about Brianna Joy Gray's crazy comments about Hamas. But have a look at this clip of her rolling her eyes when a family member of a hostage held somewhere in Gaza asks her to believe October 7 rape victims.
And I really hope that you specifically will believe women when they say that they got hurt.
All right, thanks for joining. Stick around, more Rising coming up next.
She did not like being told that. I can understand perhaps, but there was just a callousness there. And given the comments she's made, she shouldn't be surprised by that response.
That was one of the most despicable things I've seen on the air, frankly. But ultimately, I'm kind of glad she did it because, okay, first of all, this is a woman who has called Israel a genocidal country, committing genocide in Gaza. This is who we're dealing with. But ultimately, I'm happy because really it exposes the truth of the left.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting that clashes between Israel and the terrorist organisation Hezbollah are escalating with a full-blown war now an increasing possibility, Ami.
Yeah, let me tell you what's going on here, okay? So Hezbollah, for the most part, through the beginning of the war, was sitting mostly on the sidelines. Now, I know you're saying, well, how could that be? They've been bombing Israel this whole time. Yeah, they have, but really in a very quiet, measured way. They have upwards of 120,000 rockets they could be raining down hellfire in Israel, and they have held back. Why? Because they saw Israel's prosecution of the war. They saw what happened to Gaza when Gaza attacked Israel, when Hamas attacked Israel. They said, we don't want any part of that. In fact, Israel has been very transparent to Lebanon on what would happen if Hezbollah got involved in the war. They said, we are going to target your infrastructure. They were very clear about this, and they showed it with the prosecution of the Gazan war. But let me tell you what has happened and why we are now on the precipice of a war with Hezbollah. Because Hezbollah has been watching and learning. And what have they learned? They looked at what the Biden administration has done when it comes to defending Israel. They saw them throw Israel under the bus when they thought it suited their political purposes. And now they say, this is the time to engage in a war, because we know that if Israel strikes back in a hard way to defend itself, Biden will turn on Israel, will not have his back, and therefore give us the cover to do what we have to do. They will put the pressure for us to stop Israel from attacking Hezbollah targets inside Lebanon. They are smart, they have learned, and that's the lesson they have learned on how Biden has thrown Israel under the bus.
Well, he has been inconsistent, if you want to be kind, but weak and unprincipled. Is that going to continue if this clash with Hezbollah does escalate further, or will the Biden administration come to their senses?
I mean, I can only see what I see on Gaza. No, I don't see that changing at all. In fact, I see them being even more vocal against Israel, saying, Israel, what are you doing? Start a second front against another country. No, I think it's the opposite. I don't think they would have Israel's back. If you could prove to me why they would, I could believe it. I don't see evidence of that at all.
Ami Horowitz, thank you so much for your time this evening.